Assalamu alaikum, namaste, khushamadid. I'm happy to bring to you another episode of Second Home India. We are at the Indian Business Professional Council event where they've invited Mr. R.C. Bhargava, the chairman of Maruti Suzuki, from India to talk to a few members of Kuwait. Please stay with us. We are in conversation with His Excellency, Mr. Sunil Jain, at the Crown Plaza for the IBPC event. Welcome to our show, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Could you tell us a little bit about tonight's event, the Indian Business Professional Council? What do you think of them, and what do you think they have benefited? How?
Indian Business and Professional Council promotes ties between our two countries. It brings the leading businessmen from India who are engaged in various sectors. They organize various events bringing eminent personalities from India for interaction with their members as well as diplomats and other dignitaries. Today we have Shri R.C. Bhargava, the chairman of Maruti Suzuki Limited. Maruti is a phenomena in India, starting in 1983 with producing only about 40,000 cars a year, and now it produces 1.5 million cars a year. It has the leading market share in the automobile sector. Actually, the automobile revolution credit goes to Maruti. And Mr. Bhargava is a leading light. He has been associated with Maruti Suzuki from the very beginning, almost 40 years. And he is a great entrepreneur, great man of action.
That's true. I was talking to Tony Jesselman, and he mentioned that R.C. Bhargava is very serene, peaceful personality. Your meeting with R.C. Bhargava, what did you think of it?
The facade can be deceptive. He is a very hardworking person, and who has built Maruti Suzuki from a scratch to a commanding heights. Now Maruti Suzuki is sold in Kuwait. It is exported to over 150 countries, and Maruti is one of the Indian icons.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Your Excellency. Our viewers, any message for our viewers?
Well, I think Maruti story needs to be told, that how a company with a professional attitude, high quality product, affordable cost, low cost of maintenance can do very well, not only in India but many countries abroad. Thank you.
Thank you. We've always been impressed with all the heroes that we see in movies about being the chairman of big companies. I want to introduce to you today a real life hero. We are talking to the chairman of Maruti Suzuki, and I'm sure you're all dying to meet him. So hold your breath. Here it comes. Welcome to our show, Second Home India.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So first, when I was given your profile, I was given something in writing. I really didn't know how you looked. And now that you are here, I have to ask you the secret of your youth. I mean, how is it that, what have you been doing?
I've been doing nothing. I've been working all my life. I think I've been working now for 60 years.
Wow.
And I think if you get involved in your work, you enjoy doing what you are doing, and you feel that the work which you do is of benefit to a lot of people, and that in the course of your work you are helping people to improve their lives and their families and things.
Right.
I think that satisfaction is something which keeps you going and motivates you to work more.
Wow. I'd love to take you back memory lane. I'm talking about 1956, I believe, when you topped the IAS exam. Tell us, how did you feel at that time, and what did your parents feel?
You know, it was almost unbelievable. But although I was a good student, I'd been doing well in my exams. In my BSc in the university, I had also topped. But the IAS is a different thing. So
Yes.
when the results came out, it was hard to believe that this was really me whose name I was reading in the newspaper.
So what happens next once you top IAS? How do you decide ki I want to take this path now? How does that happen?
I didn't decide any path I took. It was all things which kept happening without my intervention. I was allotted to the UP. I went through the usual thing. Suddenly I found that the government was sending me to the United States for a year to study economics, which I'd never done. Fine. I came back. Then one fine day I was told that I was required to go to Kashmir on deputation. So I packed my stuff and went off to J&K, spent 5 wonderful years in that state, great fun. Then I came to Delhi in the government and worked in government. Then the chairman of BHEL said, why don't you join BHEL? So in 1979, I joined BHEL, and that deputation ended in 2 years. After that, the same person who was then chairman had become the managing director of the new company, Maruti.
Okay.
So he said, this company has been formed, come and join me here.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'll come and join you here.
This was 1980.
81.
81.
So it's just, things kept happening with nothing which I did about it.
Okay, so 1981 you joined Maruti Suzuki and you are with them today. So that is a huge timeline. I mean, a lot of your life you've been dedicated
Sure.
to this company. There must have been something that made you stick there. You must have felt at home there. Why not? Why didn't you ever think?
No,
of
you
it?
see, I retired from Maruti as an active employee in 1997 because at that stage I was already 63 and you don't work in India beyond that age. I was already past.
Right.
And then Suzuki asked me to join the board of Maruti, and then they said become chairman. So they've kept me on. I've continued. I enjoy the work.
I'd like to go a little bit into a little deeper question about Maruti. Your competitors, how do you look at them? And in today's age of technology, where cars are almost flying off now, how does Maruti intend to keep up with technology?
See, Maruti is a small car maker. Suzuki is a small car maker, and Suzuki is the best small car maker in the world. So in terms of technology relating to the design and the manufacture of small cars,
Right.
Suzuki has all the technology which is required.
Right.
India is essentially a small car market.
Yes.
So on technology, we are really not only up to the mark, but probably ahead of many others who don't have experience of small cars.
Right.
And because we started earlier, and I think we recognized what Indian customers want,
Right.
so we built sales and service and after-service channel and distribution of spare parts and training of people,
Right.
which has appealed to the Indian consumer.
Right.
They find that a Maruti car is probably the easiest to maintain,
Right.
is not expensive to maintain. It gives them the best second-hand car value because that is important to a customer, what
Right.
you sell your car at.
Right.
And so we keep ahead of everybody else.
Yes, you've summed up all the key factors that make Maruti so popular. Anything else you would like to add to that list? Why do you think Maruti has been so successful in India?
I think it's the employees. The employees from the beginning, although we were a public sector company, all our employees, including the workers and the engineers and the managers, for some reason felt that they had to make a huge success out of this.
Wow.
And they worked like people who would not even work in a private company, even more than that, despite being a public company.
Wow.
The workers readily accepted, I talked to them and they accepted that ultimately their future would be the best if they worked to improve the company all the time, that they and the company went together.
Right. Wow.
And they accepted that, they believed that.
Such a good message.
And because of that, we have better productivity, better quality,
Right.
and improvements every year, which keeps us ahead.
Wow. Here's a shout out to all the employees in Maruti. I hope this video will reach you too. And thank you so much from your chairman to all of you for what you do every day. And I'd like to now ask you something about, what's going on in India these days is 1,000 rupee note, 500 rupee note,
Yes.
that's all we are listening on TV and WhatsApp and everywhere. Would you like to comment on that?
See, over the years, a huge black money economy has developed. Black money means money which is generated by people in different ways, which is not declared, on which taxes are not paid. Now, that money is either coming largely from land deals, it's coming from corruption, and corruption at all levels.
Sure.
It's coming from a whole lot of people who are in business, whether as retailers, whether as small manufacturers, who, because they are small, don't keep books of accounts, don't declare their incomes, don't give receipts when they send the products, don't keep. So all of them have cash money.
Yes.
Now that leads to inflation, it leads to corruption, and it hurts the economy. So I think the government has taken a step which was long overdue, which is to curb and control black money. And this first step of demonetization is essential for that purpose.
Right.
There is hardship to some people,
Yes.
there are complaints, it's a short-term thing. Maybe things could have been done better, I don't know, because it's too complicated to
It is.
somebody like me who doesn't know the nitty-gritties to comment on. But what I do feel is that after this is done, we need more measures which will prevent the recurrence of the generation of black money in the future.
Right.
Because otherwise, in another year or 2 years or 3 years,
Will
the same things will start
happen
happening again. That is the real key which now we need to worry about.
Right. Sorry, we got a little distracted with the current situation, but I do want to go back and talk about the Padma Bhushan Award. Tell us about that.
These awards are given by the government for various areas where they think somebody has contributed to the nation. And they gave me this Padma Bhushan last year because, essentially because of Maruti.
Right.
So it feels very good to get
I'm
a
sure.
reward like this because it means your own government is recognizing it.
True.
But this was not the only one related to that because the government of Japan
Yes.
had also given me an award about 3 or 4 years ago, which was called the Order of the Rising Sun Gold and Silver Star.
Okay.
And that was for the same thing of bringing about Indo-Japanese understanding and relationship and things like that.
Right.
And that was very equally exciting because it meant you went to the Emperor's Palace in Japan, which nobody gets into.
Oh, wow.
And you went inside and you had a look at the palace because the whole ceremony is conducted there. And then the emperor gives an audience.
Right.
So that is also equally exciting. Here, the president is here,
Right.
there, the emperor of Japan is here. So these are incidents which keep you motivated.
Yes, true. Did you pick up a little Japanese while you were there?
No, well, a few words here and there, but cannot possibly converse in Japanese.
But really, that's a great accolade to be given. Padma Bhushan, and then from the Emperor of Japan. I mean, these are These are huge achievements, and I'm sure when you sleep in the night, you're like really content with what you've made out of your life.
So as I said in the beginning, the satisfaction with what you do is what keeps you happy and going.
True.
Is the motivator.
Very true.
These awards, when they come, you really enjoy it.
Right.
But after a time, you even forget that you have these awards till somebody reminds you.
Right. But you've been in Kuwait before. I think it was 1990 you mentioned. But for the viewers of Kuwait, this is going to be on a Second Home India episode on KTV2. For your viewers in Kuwait, would you like to give a message to the youth and people who are aspiring and looking up to you?
I think this country has made tremendous progress from the time I was here last. And I don't think I would have recognized a lot of the city from what it was then. So I think the Kuwaiti people have done exceedingly well. And I believe that India and Kuwait are very good partners in this development effort, because there is a substantial number of Indians who are working with the Kuwaiti people.
Yes.
And what I've understood in this very short visit is that